And it's a toss-up how historical all of that is. People even question the conquest, but I think there was a conquest under a Joshua-like person. I think there probably was. Now, they go archaeologically, they question whether all the signs of a conquest are there or not. I mean, I can't get into all that. Which year it happened, which cities were taken, which cities weren't taken. But whether it was a peaceful, whether everyone left at the Exodus period, whether there were local peoples who were absorbed, who knows? But there was a conquest of some kind of some of the areas and an amalgamation, and there would have been, and there was a David. And he was a pretty victorious sort of king, and he did fight the Philistines. And he did sort of bring the kingdom to its highest political, economic point. Now, what year would that be? 1000 BC. Pretty even number. It's 1000 BC, 1050. And the temple would have been started under him, finished under Solomon. Solomon goes to about 950 BC. So we're in the realm of history, more or less there. Okay? But this is mainly in the hill country. The Philistines are in control. And that's where the word Palestina comes from. When the Romans finally succeeded in wiping the Jews out, for all intents and purposes, in 2 wars. What were the 2 wars that were fought against Rome? When were they fought?
70 AD.
And the second one? They didn't just put up down their weapons in 70 AD. It started up again, called the Bar Kokhba uprising in 132 to 136, and that was more severe. And the results of the Bar Kokhba uprising were much more pervasive. Why don't we know as much about the Bar Kokhba uprising as the 70 AD one? Because we don't have a Josephus. Josephus was the historian of the period, if you have heard of him, now you have anyway, if you didn't then, who was the eyewitness reporter of this time. And so he left us a encyclopedic, not always reliable, but encyclopedic account of that period. And we don't have that for the Bar Kokhba period. So the period that the Jewish war he wrote covers is 66 to really 73, because Masada, famous event, we wouldn't know anything about except for Josephus. All the defendants committed suicide rather than surrender to Rome. That was 73. That was also, I think, around the time of the year of the triumph in Rome. How do we know about the triumph in Rome? Josephus. What artifact in Rome commemorates that triumph? How many have been to Rome? Forum, Arch of Titus. Titus was the son of the victorious Roman general who took over the emperorship at this time. So you had people in the historical Jesus past. Actually, I think that this one has more ink in it still. It just squeaks a bit more. Let me just see how this works. Vespasian and his son Titus. And this is a new imperial group called the Flavians. That's a new family. The old family was Julius Caesar up to Nero. How many have been watching that series in television, Rome? HBO. It's really good, isn't it? Extremely good. I mean, it's a bit melodramatic and so on for a modern taste, but I recommend it highly. It's pretty accurate, and it's extremely well done by people who know their history, and it's just really good. I think they're going to replay it, and they're going to have a second season next spring. They've gotten up to Julius Caesar's assassination in this particular series. And then they're obviously going to have the wars of Augustus and Octavius. But it's really good. For television, modern television, it's the best thing you see historically for recent memory, even though it's a bit, sexed up and stuff like that. But you have to do that for modern taste. Okay. So, the first war was ended in 73 with the Masada, but there was another one under this person called Bar Kokhba. I guess we'll do it with that. I'm not, no, I guess it's a CH. Anyway, Kokhba, K-O-C-H. I'll go back to your man. So, he's the second leader, and he clearly had messianic pretensions. Kokhba in Hebrew was, that's not his name. Bar is son of. But you know what Kokhba means in Hebrew?
Wisdom?
Huh?
Wisdom?
No, that's Kokhba. This is Kokhba. Kokhba is star. Son of the star. It's from the star prophecy. Star will rise out of Jacob, a scepter to rule the world, Numbers 24:17. And Jesus in the New Testament, the star over Bethlehem is really relates to the star prophecy. That's why they portray a star. I also think that's where you get the Hebrew star from, symbolizing the Jewish people, that this star is supposed to have some significance for the Jews. It has to do with the messianic prophecy. Anyway, he wasn't called Bar Kokhba. In fact, he took the name, and the rabbis ridiculed him for taking it. And they said, grass will grow on your grave. One of these rabbis who supported it before the Messiah comes, they say to him. In other words, they're ridiculing the fact that Bar Kokhba had messianic pretensions. And we have actually found letters that he signed. We have found, since Israel was reborn, you know, we found the Dead Sea Scrolls. You know, this government is dumb enough that they're going to go thinking of giving back the area where the Dead Sea Scrolls were found. Probably the most culturally significant, that's what I mean. I mean, these people don't have a clue. They're like living in cuckoo land, and they have no cultural, intellectual awareness of what they're doing and what they're about. And if they did, I mean, there's no one out by where the Dead Sea Scrolls are found. They don't need to give that back to anybody. And they're just insanity. But never mind. I'm not the government of Israel. If I were, you'd have a different situation, I can tell you that. But that's why I'm in California. I left there 30 or 40 years ago because